to another episode of Just Our Luck podcast. I am joined today with the one, the only, Jarrod. How are you, Jarrod?
I am here, but we good.
That's all that matters. And I would like to say congrats to you. You are the first male on the show.
Period. King status.
You know, it only took 4 episodes for me to, want to diversify, I guess.
I feel so honored.
As you should, okay? As you should. So, as I like to do with my guests, I have a rapid fire question section.
Wow.
Did you see this coming? I don't know.
No.
So, it's only 3 questions. Don't worry. Nice, short, sweet, simple. The first one, entrepreneur or corporate America?
The first one.
Entrepreneur?
I want to own my own business.
Okay.
I don't like when people tell me what to do.
I feel that. You be your own boss.
Period.
Makes sense. All right, next one. College or real world experience? Exactly.
I feel like with college, they kind of like prep you for real life experience,
Yeah.
I feel like with real life, it's going to hit you really hard, It's gonna,
Smack you in the face.
Can I curse?
Absolutely.
Life don't give a fuck.
No.
With college, it's kind of give you like, it's going to hit you, trust and believe. It's going to attack, violate you.
Right.
But, it's not, you still have protection. You still have people there. Sorry. Flashbacks. You still have people there for you.
No, yeah. Real world will smack you in the face and be like, okay, moving on. College is like a smack in the face in college is kind of like you tripped and you fell on your face, but like you can get back up.
However, though, I will have to say real world problems, probably because for me at least, I'll have more control over how to deal with those issues per se. Versus
being in college.
Yeah, you're more like confined.
I've never gotten this answer before. Very interesting. I really appreciate this perspective.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. But no, I feel like in college, your bubble is so, well, I guess depending on, what groups of people you hang out with, whatever, your bubbles are so like niche.
Yeah.
That it's hard to escape. Very hard. How do you get out? I don't know. And then last question, suburbs or urban life?
Let me see. Well, all my life I lived the urban life.
Like, do you crave green grass? And, I don't want to say a picket fence, but...
Yeah. I would say I would... Because I lived all my life in, like, urban areas, stuff like that, I wouldn't mind trying to live in a different area. So,
okay. Switch it up. Try something new.
Yeah.
You might love it. Or not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what life's about.
Exactly.
Doing things and figuring out if we like it or not. And if we don't, we got to start over. So fun. So exciting. Well, thank you for your answers. We love your perspective.
Ooh, child.
See, you lived. You're fine.
Yes.
Good Lord. All right. So now we're going to move into, the news corner. Sometimes I like to throw in something a little relevant. How are the people, how are we learning from this? What's going on? How can we apply this to our lives? So I don't know if you know, but, the 46th president.
You talking about the orange?
No. We're talking about Joseph Robinette Biden. I don't know if is he 46 or 47?
46.
Okay. See, I be knowing things. So he extended student loan, the pausing of like interest rates and all that if you have student loans and stuff until September 30th. So we as in me, who has a federal loan or two. Sally Mae didn't come for me. Absolutely not. She wasn't going to give me even no 20% interest loans. But I'm not judging if you have them. Anybody out there? We had to pay for education somehow. So essentially what that means is the interest rates are paused. Whatever you stopped at when you graduated college, especially if you were a class of 2020 and you had those 6 months, and then they were like, okay, girl, it's time for you to start paying. And then, the pandemic happened and then they paused it. And then, everybody in Congress was moving like the tortoise. And, student loans was creeping way back up. Just kidding. We have a whole nother 10 months, less than a year, whatever. Yeah. So, of course, CNN wrote an article. And, of course, they were like, how can you take advantage of this time? So I'm just going to go through a couple points, if this apply to people, specifically in the debt region. I personally don't have debt. I am terrified to owe anybody money. Not even my friends. Maybe my mother, but... family. Right. Family, whatever. If they offer, who am I to say no? So with, this whole pausing of student loans, CNN recommends, you could pay down your credit card bill if you have some debt. Once again, you should definitely do that because they definitely have that at like 20%. And, just some math 101. Let's say you missed your bill, $300. When the interest comes, you'll be looking at like $360 to pay off. And if you didn't have $300 before, where's the extra $60 coming from? A scam. Oh. Listen, the hustle.
I support it.
Get it where you can. Personally, I cannot foresee myself promoting an OnlyFans for, like my friends on Twitter to be like, oh yeah, I'll subscribe. No, that's okay for me. But whoever else is out there, you do that. I want nobody coming. Kimani, I saw something. No, you didn't. Mind your business. Moving on. CNN also recommends that you can build up an emergency savings account, which is pretty much like you should save about 3 to 5 months of expenses. Yeah. Just in case you lose your job, for those who are employed and have to pay their bills. As you will be doing in the future, Jarrod. We'll get into that later. They also bring up retirement, which... they tell you to start saving for retirement, but ma'am, I am 23 years old. I'll think about that in a year. 23? Yes, a fresh 23. Getting older. And then the last one, which obviously, who's really trying to do this, is consider making payments on your student loans anyway. If they're paused and nobody's looking for this money right now, why would I can see why I should make it, but also there's probably more important things. Yeah. Also, will I be waiting to see if they cancel student loan debt? Absolutely.
That's true.
So, listen, I'll take the 50,000. I guess I'll take 10. Preferably 50. But whatever, it's fine. Moving on. So, Jarrod, did you have student loans? Was that a part of your college? Wow. Wow. But I'm...
Guidance counselor had us apply to a lot of scholarships. And then EOP came along, and then MLK came along.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was no need.
Yeah, basically.
You did have a rigorous summer, like your freshman, like going into freshman year. So, like me only being in MLK, I was like, okay, social justice, community service, looking at EOP, taking classes in the summer. Yeah. We just graduated from high school 5 days ago.
Honestly, wow.
Wow. Why would they do that to y'all? I understand the importance of education. Yeah. But also why?
It was fun though.
That's good.
People, get you a taste of what college is going to be like, you know, before everybody else. So
a hot mess. College in general is a hot mess.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, just
shout out to Seton Hall though.
we learned so much, gained so much. Good Lord. All right, so Jarrod, let's get into you. You know, who are you? What's your story? You know, what are you writing in that journal?
Oh, wow.
What? Okay, maybe not the journal part, you know. You know, keep it to yourself if you would like. But, you know, like, obviously we met at school. What was your major? Did you graduate? Are you still in school?
Oh, wow. I would not be here if I didn't graduate. I'm sorry.
I mean...
I would not embarrass myself. All right, so I guess I'll start by saying, yeah, I went to Seton Hall University. You know. Fun fact, I, you know, applied to be a creative writing major. However,
the arts.
I did not know what I wanted to do. So for a lot of different colleges that I applied to, different majors I signed up to be. One was like business management, other one was business administration.
So you was out here picking majors left and right.
I didn't know.
For funsies.
Sometimes I forget which one I chose.
Imagine you get to the school and they're like, okay, Jarrod, so you are in the biology program.
Where's my notebook?
I don't remember. I don't remember applying to this program. Is there a mix-up?
So, end up choosing Seton Hall simply because my mother wanted me to go. Because at first, I applied to 10 colleges, got into them, and I really only chose those colleges because I wanted to hear my name in the loudspeaker in high school.
Yes.
So they can say how much money you got for the scholarship. So I just want to hear my name.
For the ego.
Period.
Okay.
Big ego. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Anyway, so went to Seton Hall, got into the EOP program. That was fun.
Now, what for those who wouldn't know what an EOP program is?
Not me promoting. So EOP stands for Educational Opportunity Program. It's a New Jersey state grant that's given to people who lives in New Jersey for over a year and who's dealing with economic challenges, basically. So this program at Seton Hall, it was a summer program. It was ran for 6 weeks. They gave us 7 free credits. We took classes. Taught us how to write resumes as well and create a LinkedIn. Met a lot of people. You know, it was just really 60 of us on campus, so we basically kind of ruled campus, even though we was only allowed to go to X, where we lived at, or Xavier. The library, if we wanted to print something out. EOP office, and then a caf, basically. And then a few classrooms. So we really didn't know much about Seton Hall campus. So,
as you lived on Seton Hall's campus.
Listen, first day of classes, fall semester, I was lost. I'm like, what's that? And not even that, because, most people in Seton Hall and EOP were, people of color, black people, Latinos, Asian, whatever. So the first day, classes, fall semester, I was walking out of bowling, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of white people. Interesting.
Oh my gosh. On top of the fact that Seton Hall is on the edge of a all-black city. All black. Majority, heavily black. Urban.
Not urban.
Not gentrified urban, even though at the time of our freshman year, wasn't really gentrified. As we got through school, they were definitely trying to get in. But yes.
Yeah. So, again, I was a creative writing major, and then, I met a lot of few people through MLK, talking about a lot of social injustices, racial issues, and being part of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Association.
Period.
You have to take a MLK class. And
we sure
and
did.
That counts as a Black Studies or aka Africana Studies class. So, looking into that, I'm like, wow, So I talked to my advisor, UP advisor.
Little did we know.
Never mind. Talked to my advisor. He was like, yeah, you can take this class and like that. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't like when people tell me what to do. So like,
Right.
I don't really hear what they say. And I go back to choose my own classes because I don't got time for that. So I made my own schedule. And the next semester was basically Black Studies courses.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is really nice. I like this. Got super close with one professor.
Mm-hmm.
And, he would take us to events. And then the next year, he eventually helped me and a couple of my friends to create an organization called Council of African Scholars, where we basically was the support system for AFAM majors and minors or anybody taking the class.
Literally the support system, because there was none in the
basically
College of Arts and Sciences, Seton Hall University, founded in 1856, whatever that year is. I don't know.
Shout out to Elizabeth NCN.
Right. Like, honestly, the freaking... Y'all could call yourselves like the provost and the office of the provost of the Africana Studies program.
Shout out to Concern 44. Anyway, a moment we would never forget.
Like, who has to protest for a better curriculum? Have you heard of that? Like,
yes, but it was just crazy because they were really talking out their neck saying that read this, read that.
Right. And the crazy thing is, like, people like a Seton Hall alumni who had no idea, who probably had never taken an Africana Studies anything, let alone known there was an Africana Studies program. They're talking out their neck, like, well, if you don't like it, you could go to another school, blah, 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 whatever. First of all, Billy, Kelly, Karen, whatever. Like, so you're telling me you'd have no problem with you walked into this university thinking you take your cute little 18 to 30 classes, whatever, and graduate with the major. And there are people in like their sophomore, junior years who are like, where are these credits coming from? Because that's the thing. Where are the classes?
Like, the big issue with AFAM majors and minors is that you have to reach a certain amount of like credits.
Right.
And fun fact, cause it changed now, but I think it was like 42 credits you're supposed to get, and that was like one of the most credits you got to get for a major back then, like a few years ago.
Yeah, I think my individual, like my specific concentration in the business school, I think it was like 21 credits max, which was 7 classes.
Exactly. And the thing is, you have to say like you got to take this many credits, but you're not offering the right amount of classes.
We go in spring and summer. We go to log in. Why are you offering class the second succession of this class? And the last time you offered the first succession was last year. We weren't here to take the class.
Not even that. I took one class called African Cultural Philosophy that was not taught in 30 years.
Wasn't that the class we were in? Child, I learned so much about the African culture.
The professor said he hadn't taught this class so long that there was no computers. Like, he really had to like come up with
him loading anything onto Blackboard was a struggle. Us uploading anything onto Blackboard was a struggle. I'm pretty sure we printed, like, he would say this essay is due. Did he talk about the essay for a good 3 weeks after that due date? No. All of a sudden, all right, so in 2 weeks this essay's due, and we're over here like,
but listen, no YouTube videos now?
Because why am I coming to a class for an hour and 15 minutes and we are watching a 30-minute YouTube video? You know what I could have done? Watched it in my damn room.
And then tell me the day of the class when I walk in, Jarrod, you're going to teach class today.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, the people who are there have heart. But when it comes to, listen, I briefly thought about getting an Africana Studies minor. because why not? I was already taking like a couple classes here and there. But first of all, the way these professors wanted me writing 10-page papers was not happening. The way it was the same professor. Yes, please.
I mean, never mind. We want to skip. What you say?
No, okay. Listen, we can go on for days about the lack of programs that we were given as students of color. So did you end up graduating with your major in Africana Studies?
Yes.
Okay.
But not with creative writing, though. So sophomore year was a rough year. And I had this one professor because, with me, creative writing, I like to write poetry and stuff like that. I like writing essays too. It's just like, I like how you're able to be creative with what you want to say and like make your own points or whatever like that. I like that. But, so I have an issue with professors like kind of tell you like, oh yeah, make a point, you have the right to make any points you want, but just make sure you back it up. And you make a point, you back it up, and they still say, no, I don't agree, or something like that. So I had this one professor who did that, and that messed my confidence up as a writer. So I'm like, you know what? I can still be a writer, but I don't have to like go through this. I'm not missing my GPA for this.
Right.
So I'm like, European writer, and he was like saying like, oh, but every revolution has a good writer. I'm like, that's cute. Yeah.
That's you could put that on a nice tote bag, a nice sweatshirt, cute button.
So I pulled out the big old catalog. I'm like, all right, need a new major because.
Also, let's talk about how literally every year they had their own course catalog except the class of 2020. Like we came in freshman year, they were like, our books are on back order, but don't worry, you're gonna get a course catalog, keep it for your records, blah blah whatever. Nothing. What happened next year?
Got a whole book.
Class 2021 has their own course catalog. That's interesting. Wow. That's very interesting. That was the first time I felt Seton Hall was trifling, and wouldn't be the last. Ugh.
I forgot about
And me, the neurotic person I am, I'm like, if I get an opportunity to plan out my next 4 years, why would I not?
To be honest, yeah.
We were hoodwinked and bamboozled. Proceed, though.
So I forgot where I was at. Oh, so I went through the catalog. I'm like, what do I like? So I was like, sociology. This sounds interesting. And I looked up like possible jobs you get with a sociology major. I'm like, all right, social worker, guidance counselor, because I knew that I wanted to help people in some way. So I was like, all right. So I emailed the chairperson of the sociology, social work department, whatever. And I'm like, can I have a meeting? Because at this time, my plan was to double major in sociology, Africana, and then double minor in creative writing and women and gender studies.
Okay. So this is sophomore year. The plan switched a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the end of sophomore year, beginning of junior year. And, I met with her and I told her my plan, whatever like that. And she looked at me. She said, why are you doing so much? You're doing way too much. She said, basically saying like, at the end of the day, yes, you got a degree in whatever state you did, but it's all about how you apply the things you learn in college to your everyday life and to your job. That's what, employers are looking at. That's basically the whole purpose of college. It's not about what you major, it's about how you applying, your knowledge, your experiences, whatever. So I was like, okay. So I was like, that. So I took out one major gender study, took out creative writing, and just stuck with sociology and AFM. Because with sociology, it's such a broad, general major. Right. You basically learn it a little bit everything about race, about sexuality, about gender, about religion, every little thing. Right. And I like that because at that moment I still didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. So fast forward, it's senior year. MOKSA is having their annual fall retreat, and we was doing one activity where we had to like discuss a social injustice or like an issue in society, something like that. And it was about honestly, I forgot what it's about. But it made me think, like, hey, maybe I should work in, like, DIFIS or, like, child protection service or system. Yeah, CPS. Like, CPS. I want to help kids, I think it's really important. And then, fast a little bit more. Kind of like lost that in my head. I was being up in that, and they was saying like you need like probably like a social work major,
right?
Psychology and all that. I'm like, I don't got time for that.
Right, we're not switching our majors again.
Nope.
No.
So I got what I got. So winter break that year, 2019, I was looking into like stuff, and I was thinking, I was watching Boy Meets World, and one of the characters saying like she's doing a Peace Corps. I'm like, oh, the Peace Corps. Let me look into that. I looked into it, I'm like, this is really interesting. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So I found them on Instagram, on their own website, see what the requirements, all that kind of stuff, different job positions. I'm like, all right, I want to do this. And then the next semester started. There was a meeting about it. School diplomacy had a meeting about it. I went there. Cool. I like it. Put my name on the email thing. Cool. And then a few months later, Mona came.
Ciao.
And things got fucked up. So everything is up in the air now. You know, I'm just focused on trying to make sure I graduate on time.
Right.
Online schooling at that moment wasn't it for me, and like I already had so many things going on. My mind was not there, so I was just barely making it. And then I also was applying to grad school though, to be for public administration, focused on nonprofit, because I wanted to have like a plan just in case.
Okay, yeah. So Peace Corps was your plan A. You know, going to grad school was the plan B.
Plan B. It was going to be either Seton Hall or Rutgers. I ended up just choosing Seton Hall because, to be honest, I was too lazy to apply. And like,
honesty is the policy.
Yeah, and Seton Hall was like plan B, so I just wanted something there, concrete there. So like, you know, the Peace Corps, whatever. Right. So I applied to the. I texted you. So I applied to send in my application for grad school, and I texted you. I did it. The next day, I got accepted, and I'm like, wow. I texted you. He was like, wow, that was bad.
That admission system was moving at the speed of light, bro. What?
And then cool. Ended up graduating. And then I went to a few meetings for the Peace Corps, and they was basically saying like, you know, things are still up in the air, and like you could apply now, but most people apply earlier already, like last year, 2019. Oh. And I'm like, so I had to think. Right. I'm like, knowing me, if I decline my acceptance for grad school, that means I got to do the Peace Corps. But if I do the Peace Corps and don't get in, my mental gonna be fucked up. Right.
There goes plan B and plan A.
Period. So I'm like, I gotta do something. Mind you, I forgot that I also had another job, FYE Livingston, as a part-time sales associate. But I wasn't thinking that because I hadn't worked there so long. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna after the summertime, all that, I'm gonna be unemployed. I have nothing to do. Oh my God, I gotta come up with something. Right. Come on. So I end up deciding to just do grad school. So I said, let me just do grad school just to be safe. Right. Let's just do it. I need to do
something. Worst you can do is have a master's degree or whatever. Oh, you know.
So I stuck with that. And then I'm like, all right, since I'm doing grad school, I'm going to need to like live on campus because I cannot live here and do school. Right. I just can't. And I tried to reach out to the residents, people. They were saying like, there's a wait list. You know, and I'm like, okay. And then later on that day, I'm like, all right, we got to find some job because I cannot just be here all day. Right. School. Like, I need to do
so was your need to find a job while doing grad school because you just needed something to do, or like, was there any like financial commitment for you to go to grad school?
No. So I did grad school because I was thinking there would probably be some financial aid, something like that. We'll get into that soon. Okay. But really just to support myself, and also like I knew that if I couldn't be able to live on campus, that means I gotta find my own place. Right. So I'm like, we need to start. Right. So that's like the end of May. I was applying to different jobs, like working at Home Depot or working at what is it? Red Cross, I think it's called.
You can work at the Red Cross?
I think, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. What else? Like a sneaker place, and then like also like nonprofit, whatever it is. Right. Like, I just gotta do something. But I found found these 2 jobs. I was like, oh, this is really cool. The other job, I think it was like customer service, and the other one is my current job.
Okay.
So I did the customer service thing. It was kind of easy. And then the other job, my current job, I had to do like a cover letter, and then the requirement was like you're supposed to have a driver's license, and like you're basically helping families and kids with emotional and mental challenges, and basically helping them find resources for that.
So like in that social work field, which is what you're in school for right now.
Yeah, not kind of.
Well, okay.
Nonprofit, but yeah. So I applied. I texted you, and I texted my other friend to check my cover letter. I'm like, I'm really feeling like the job. This is my job. I need to make sure that it's perfect.
You felt a calling.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is like, it's got to be a dream job. So I submit the applications, and then it's like the first week of June, and I get a call from the customer service job, and it was like, yeah, I saw your resume. We're interested in you. You know, just got to do the interview thing. It's online. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. I texted you and a few people about it. Cool. And then I was like, let me check my email, see if they sent me anything. And I saw that my dream job, my current job, sent me an email saying they love my cover letter and they want to like talk to me more.
Period.
Oh wow. So I was like, that. So I told them I could meet with them. I think it was like Thursday, and I told I could meet with them the next week, like Monday, whatever. And the customer service job was the next day, on Friday. So Friday comes, I'm like, don't really care. I'm like, the other jobs want me. I don't really want y'all anymore.
Right. Exactly. It's like, you were plan B, sweetie. My dream job is right here. So no offense. Like, you were just a backup. Sorry.
That interview was stupid as hell. I don't remember much. I just remember it was too complicated. And then one question was like, if you could be a superhero, what would you be? And I'm like,
I literally hate those like boring, bland.
I'm thinking like, all right, I'm not really into like superhero movies and stuff like that anymore. So I have to think like, what was my favorite superhero back in the day? Batman, but I can't really talk much about him. I just liked him because he was cool. You know? Human Torch, he had firepower. You know, that was cool. Nightcrawler, he looked cool. Status Shock, he was black. And, you know, he was cool. So
hashtag like, representation.
So I tried doing that, and I kept messing up. I'm like, man, fuck it. So I just submitted the thing, and then they called me, and they were like, oh, we see you submitted something, but it looks like you messed up. I'm like, all right, I'm going to check. Never checked. They kept calling me. I'm like, I'm not doing it, y'all.
Oops. Blocked you. Whoops.
The next week, time for the interview. Mind you, I wasn't that good with Microsoft Teams yet. So she said, like, you know, I'm going to send you the link for the meeting. I'm like, cool. So I'm expecting like the URL in blue so I can click on it and cool.
Oh, God.
So I'm looking for it. I don't see. I'm like, yo, she really playing me. Yo, God, you really, like, really, all people want to do is just
Jarrod, you're too old to be having these problems with technology.
They just want to waste my fucking time.
Oh, no.
Cool. And then I called her. I'm like, hello? And she didn't answer. I'm like, wow.
Oh, no.
Wow, look at me.
Oh.
Wow, we love to see it. And then she ended up calling me back. And then she was like, yeah, where are you? I'm like, you didn't send the link. And she was like, yes, I did. You got to look at the bottom where it says join meeting, Microsoft Teams. I'm like, oh, okay.
That is embarrassing. Embarrassing. Not only did you miss an interview, but you did not scroll down to see the simple.
I didn't know we could click. I didn't know we could click right there. I thought it was just like a stamp.
Jarrod, we use Microsoft Teams in college. Well, no excuses. Like no excuses. Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway, we decided to meet the next day. Mind you, this like when Black Lives Matter movement was really popping again. So, you know, I had to use that. And then she said, I think her husband was like a Seton Hall alum. So I'm like, use that. And then we just talked about diversity and like why it's so important to like be there for each other, you know, stuff.
Oh, yes. I love these new diversity questions because I think my current job, they definitely asked me something like, what does diversity mean to you? And I was like, I literally said, okay, well, obviously it's not just about race.
All right, thank you.
You know, and you can tell, like, that's always the answer she gets. And I was like, okay, not me getting these answers right. But like, come on, people, let's use Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Differences ableism, you know, racism, ageism,
Sexism.
all of the isms, mindset, political. Come on. One day I'll give the insight into faking it till you make it on these answers, honey.
To be honest. But, you know, she said she liked me, all that. I'm like, cool. Mm-hmm. She asked me, did I have any questions? I'm like, yes. How much do you pay? Any benefits?
The right questions.
Work environment. You know,
the right questions.
So, you know, she answered. I'm like, okay, cool, great. And she said, yes. So the next time we're going to see each other, you're going to meet a couple supervisors just so they can talk to you, you know, have a conversation. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you so much. Yeah. So you know, end of the meeting, I'm so excited. I'm like, I got the job.
Right.
Yeah, I'm employed, all that kind of stuff.
Confidence is high.
People, But then I started thinking, I'm like, wait. I think the interview process is not over yet. I think the meeting with the supervisor.
Yeah, when they say you'll be meeting with more people, listen to
this. It's very important.
That means that is a plus because you're a step up. Mm-hmm. But it's a negative because you still got to talk to more people.
You're still outside. So like, when I tell you I was in my head, I was praying so hard. I'm like, God, do not let me fuck this up.
Right.
I told so many people, we do not want to be embarrassed. Please, Lord.
Oh my God, I literally hate telling people when I used to get interviews or even at minimum apply to things. Because don't ask me. I'll let you know when it happens. I'm the type of person to let you know when I get the job because I don't want you asking me in the middle of the process and I'm over here like,
you never know who's wishing for your downfall either. So
that's true. The evil eye is real.
Yeah. But not to say, you know, talk bad about anybody. I'm just saying myself. So, the interview came. It was 3 people, 2 supervisors, and 1 person in the leadership role, whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. Shit. They asked me about, like, how was I like as a student leader on campus, and then my work ethic as being a sales associate at FYE, and how I can link that back to working office setting, and then also like being a social worker.
Any questions relating like trying to connect retail to what like you actually want to do in life? I'm like, please don't make me lie to you.
It's, you know, it can help you.
You can finesse it really well, especially when it comes to like, especially if you're in customer service. You know, like
again, those like what is it, like points or like
credit cards, like memberships, like stuff like that. Yeah. But like, ma'am, I was working in retail because I wanted money, because I needed a job.
To be honest.
I was not thinking about how I could turn this into a real world life experience.
Yeah. Oh. So, and then like a few questions they asked me, like, if you get this job, will you still work for FYE? I said no, I will not. Because I didn't know what the response would be like. So I was like, no, I will not.
Right.
And then,
this is the priority.
Yeah.
This right here.
No, but my plan was to still keep FYE though and only work on the weekend.
Oh, so you lied.
But I didn't want to mess my chance up. And they was like, are you able to do just a full-time job? Are you willing to do that? Mm-hmm. You being a student. And I was like, yeah. But I was also thinking about doing grad assistant. But that requires 20 hours a week.
Oh.
And I won't be able to fit that in working a 9 to 5.
No.
5 days a week. So I was like, yeah, I do it, you know. So I got the job. Benefits, amazing. Money, it's good, but, you know, considering a social work job, it's good, but social workers need to be paid more. Because
right. As they're out here saving lives.
To be honest. Got the job. My first day was July 13th. Got a laptop, a tablet, a phone, a jacket. It was really
not a work phone. Oh, they have a budget.
It was an Android.
Okay. I take that back. Disregard.
It was a bundle sale, you know.
Oh my God, when they advertise like T-Mobile, Verizon, like, come and get a free tablet. We can get a new phone. I'm screaming. Listen, save that money, honey.
Period. We need it. But it was good. You know, working is really good, but it's just different. office where we had to sign in, and like when you go in the office, there's like probably no more than 10 people there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like really empty. Like all the like the fun things I would hear about like people doing in the office, the energy wasn't there. So it was just really weird. And then like learning so many things, because you got to learn how to write progress notes. You have to learn how to work in a certain system, how to set up meetings, what to do when you call families, the paperwork when you have your meetings. It was a lot, and you had to do it. It's basically virtual.
Yeah.
Learn all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, you know, somebody can show you something, and you're like, yeah, I got it. And then you forget about it.
Right.
Or like the people teaching us forgets to tell us this because it's
right.
Not like
something important.
Yeah. So it was a little difficult because, again, trying to remember everything. Then also with my position, I'm meant to be promoted.
Okay.
So right now I'm a care manager, support specialist, level 1. Just recently I got promoted to care manager, support specialist, level 2.
Ooh, period. A promotion in a pandemic. Oh my gosh. Look at you.
We love to see it. And then the last level is care manager.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like the differences between those levels is the amount of loads you can have, like cases you can have.
Gotcha.
And also like the money.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, level 2, the most cases I can have is 12, and I'm getting paid a little bit more.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do you feel like 12 is a lot? Whatever a lot means to you.
On paper, it seems like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're really doing it, it can be a lot.
Right, because it's 12 families.
12 families.
Gotcha.
Different experiences, different challenges.
Okay.
And then also like the work that comes along with that.
And when you were level 1, how many families did you have?
I had 10 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 10. It's just it can get a lot. It can be a little chaotic sometimes. Because you have to set up the initial meeting where you like presenting them the initial packet and when to sign and all that kind of stuff. And while they're doing that, you also gotta get a verbal consent on everything as well.
Right.
So that takes a while. And then a few days later, we're supposed to have like a 30-day child family team meeting where we basically going discussing what exactly is going on, what areas do the kid and family need to work on, and then coming up with a plan to see how we could address those challenges.
Right.
And then weekly, at least once a week, call the family, see how's everything going, call a therapist if you're able to find a therapist, find anybody who's a part of like the support system for the kid, get an update on the kid. And then every 90 days, you're basically doing another assessment, seeing where they still need to work on.
Gotcha.
And another plan, and then an annual, basically the same thing.
Right.
And then see if you're able to transfer them. Because our goal is to transfer them out. Transfer them out under a year. Okay. So we're trying to get them the right tools, the right sources.
All within a year.
So they're good and stable.
Wow.
And then we can move on.
So how exactly do you do all of this and you're in grad school?
So.
Because this sounds very rigorous.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, I was able to take 18 credits. I was involved in campus. I got this. 3 classes. I got this. Last semester, because mind you, I was still working FYE. So I was working that job on the weekend. Right. And then the full-time job, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and then 3 classes. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 9 to 7:30, basically. That was a lot. Yeah. A lot. One thing I can tell you is that my fear of like deadlines really went down. It went down.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like in school. I used to be like, oh, this is due in 2 weeks. Okay, I'll have it done in a week. And then I'll look at it a couple days before, just so I don't have the pressure of knowing that I have to get it done immediately. Nah. I'm dead.
It was not really with work, but really with school. Okay. And then also like my mental. Last semester was really rough because
you're balancing a lot. You're balancing a lot.
everything's connected.
Yeah. On top of the fact that when you're in social work, like all you're doing is hearing about somebody else's life, and you're like, you know, not to say that everybody has a bad life if they need a social worker, but like it's not always roses.
I mean, if you was referred to us anyway. But it was like a lot of things to juggle, like my own mental, emotional health, school, working 2 jobs. It was a lot, and I found myself being burnt out.
Oh yeah.
But I ended up kept pushing, finding like different coping mechanisms to like keep me pushing. Started reading a book called The Meaning of Mariah Carey. It's a great book.
We all need our escapism. And especially when you're a lamb. Why not?
Yeah, apparently I am one. I didn't know I was.
Jarrod, you didn't know you were a lamb?
No, I did not.
Okay. We all have our moments. Okay.
I bought a journal. Started writing in that. Just to clear my head before I go to sleep. And then kind of write like a little agenda or like things I'm expecting to do the next day, just so I have a clear head on like what needs to get done. And then I started watching more shows, basically, just to like escape from reality, going to like new shows. End up passing last semester. I passed.
Good.
Was not my best.
C's get degrees.
Not my best. Yeah, trust me. I ended up last month I quit FYE.
Okay.
Because I realized, one, they tried it as hell.
Aren't they always in retail?
Minimum wage went up. And you know what they did? They decided to cut a lot of people hours because they couldn't afford us, basically.
So a regular shift was what, 4 hours?
For me, 4 to 7, 4 to 8.
Okay, and they were like
at least twice a week.
Okay.
That shit got cut down to like 4 hours once a week. And I'm like, we're not doing this.
I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah, basically.
Because the way the math is mathing is if you're paying me, let's say $12 to be generous, I'm making $48 a week, minus taxes, minus lunch break, because let's say I didn't bring lunch today, and gas.
Lunch break. What is that? What's 30 minutes?
Oh, 30 minutes is nothing, honey. Especially when you work at the mall, depending on where your store is, compared to where the food court is. My 30 minutes is me getting there, ordering my food, and getting back.
To be honest.
Retail.
I hate it.
Ooh.
So I ended up quitting FYE, and I realized it was just like unnecessary weight. And like all that time I was working at FYE, I could use that doing work, working on myself. So right now I'm currently doing 3 classes again for grad school, but also doing my working my job. Okay. So I'm free off the weekend. So.
And do you have an estimate of when you're graduating? It's looking
2021 next year.
Spring 2021. Yeah, I don't know what year we're in. Well,
wait.
No, that'd be 2022.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, my bad, y'all. 2020.
Okay. 2022. So, do you take summer classes?
One of the benefits for this job is that they help pay for classes.
Oh, period.
So, yeah, that's the goal.
So, not only are you getting financial aid,
that's another thing. Grad students do not get financial aid at all. The only thing you can do is get loans. Apparently, the government think once you got your bachelor's, you good and you don't need no money from them. Lies you tell.
That does not make sense.
So, right now, EOP is helping me again.
Okay.
I am blessed to say that my mom is helping me again as well.
Okay.
Because I told her what's going on. She said, I got you. I'm not really sure. She said, I got you. I'm like, all right.
And your job will also help you.
That. And then also, because of my great grades, allegedly, I got a scholarship.
Oh! They said, we got extra money here. Don't worry.
And it was good. So
listen,
thank you.
Because the way grad school is looking as...
Thank you to the people. I'm like, thank you.
Oh, yeah. A nice thank you card. Thanks, sweetie. Zoom University's going great. Love the money. Love the access. I appreciate you. Whatever.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. So, working Monday through Friday, night classes. You occasionally want to lose your mind, but you haven't yet.
Yeah. Right now, because I'm going to a counseling service that Senior Hall offers called CAPS. And my therapist, after talking, I talked to her last week, and I learned one thing about myself. I work myself to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And keep pushing.
And it's like, where am I going? I'm in the dirt.
Exactly. And I tend to lose myself, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm learning to really relax and rest. It's okay to rest. So currently I'm trying to learn to take a time for myself, take a moment for myself.
Good.
And do something that I like to do.
Good.
And don't be, don't feel guilty, don't feel ashamed about it.
No.
It's okay. Because what kind of broke my heart talking to her, after I talked to her, she said that you sound depleted. And I'm like, damn, you are right.
Right. And that's what you feel like in college, when only school is your bubble, maybe your cute little part-time job. But here we are in like this real adult world. Yeah. We want to save to move out. We want, to make money for the bills. And we're balancing school again.
And life keeps going.
Right. And life is happening. Life doesn't care that, you got class tonight after you just had a long day of caring for other humans.
Yes.
So here we are.
And quickly about working as a social worker, it could be emotionally draining because I had one coworker who told me that one of his kid committed suicide.
Oh.
And it's like that could be really rough, working with his kid, trying to make sure they're good and all that. And then, they kill themselves. You kind of low key start to blame yourself,
right.
What did I do?
Right.
What could I done? There's a lot. So,
and that's why I love people. I love caring about people. I love it when people do what makes them happy. But I can't take on this emotional, not even to call it a burden, but it's if you see somebody needs help and you're interacting with them on a weekly basis, whatever, it's I want to help you. Let me save you. And you can't because A, that's life. And B, that's your job. You can't adopt every child who's mentally going through it.
And that's why I'm worried about my own personal life. Because as you know, I love art. And I would do anything for anybody basically, but especially if I really care and love you. I got you. But, a lot of stuff happened last year. And with, not getting a graduation, not moving back home. That's another thing. Moving back home, working, all this kind of stuff. As a person who overthinks and feel everything, I subconsciously deaded myself. I killed myself. I cut my emotion off. And I'm we're not going to do this. This is too much.
Right.
Just focus on the future. Focus on what you got to do.
Right. What can we do right now in this moment to not feel like this? Yeah. And I agree because even when I moved out, I did not have a job. So I had, me working at the wax center, and I knew that would pay the bills, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. But not saying that I hated living at home, love my parents, but me in this pandemic, me working at a job every day that I don't want to be at, and me living at home, it was something.
It was too much.
Something needs to change because not only am I going to feel unproductive, not only am I just going to be oh my gosh, this isn't where I want to be in life. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Blah, 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 whatever. I can't, we need to do something. And thankfully, the nice little $600 we were getting every week was amazing. Loved it. So shout out to the government, I guess, occasionally.
Yeah, but also you should. Well, for me at least, because I wasn't feeling my feelings, all that stuff was bottling up. Like it was. Just,
so you didn't have a release.
Nope.
Okay.
I stopped writing. I think the last time I wrote, something happened, and I was like trying to write what happened, and I really just started crying. I'm like, this is way too much.
Right.
I'm not doing this. So I just stopped feeling stuff. But recently, I don't know, things just started happening again, and I was feeling so many things. And like, it's one thing to feel your feelings, but it's another thing where you feel lonely and you feel like you don't have a space or somewhere you can be vulnerable.
Oh, for sure.
Or with, because you're so scared of what you hear in your own head, you know. So again, really learning to put all that emotional energy and like time and effort I put in other people and like my working job and school and all that. Put that in myself and learning to be patient and giving my time to really feel what I'm feeling. You know,
yeah.
With it. So
feel your feelings.
Yes.
Because
they're not going nowhere.
No, they're not. They're really not. You know, you still being able to be in grad school, you have access to Seton Hall's, counseling program. Hopefully, for those who aren't in grad school, even if you have insurance. I found my therapist through Therapy for Black Girls. And at the moment, I'm not seeing her, but, like me talking to her, like, as I'm like getting ready to move out and like pretend to be an adult for real, I was like, yeah, no, I can't go through this life change right now. I need a professional. Dear God, please.
And like, you don't need to have something going on in your life to have a professional. Like, it's okay to
that too.
Talk to somebody who don't know you, who doesn't know your situation, and can just give you unbiased professional advice, which is perfectly fine.
Right. Because I'm sorry, as much as I go to my mom for advice, sometimes I just don't want to hear what she has to say. So let insurance pay for someone to do that. Period. Well, Jarrod, what an amazing conversation. Thank you so much. Not only did we get perspective, we got a nice little dose of mental health advice. We really got to understand what it's like working in the social work field, how you got there, how you're balancing school. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. And, we are sending positive vibes. And
wait. Before we go, do a little song.
Oh, absolutely not. Okay, we're gonna. This is. Oh, you were serious. Oh. And on that note, everyone, this has been.
One night with you.
Oh God, another episode of Just Our Luck Podcast. Please rate 5 stars and subscribe.
One more thing.
What?
Shout out to Kimani T.
Oh my gosh.
She's really doing her thing.
Goodbye.
Someone who met her freshman year. I am so proud of you.
Please, Jarrod, I can't take compliments. I can't do this.
That's why I'm doing it.
Ugh, I'm uncomfortable.
Keep up the good work. Keep doing you. You are shining bright like it's that. You are shining.
Oh no. And on that note,
edit that out.
Oh, maybe I won't now, just for that. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
All right. So for today's mindful mantra, although Jarrod and I were dropping a couple gems there at the end, I just want to end on a simple phrase. I listened to this lovely astrologist on the Ghost of a podcast called, her name is Jessica Lanyadoo. And not only does she, meld the worlds of astrology, but also just the basic, human empathetic and just nurturing ways of not only listening to yourself, but, connecting those pieces to how it affects, the people around you and those you love and those you work with and things of that nature. So I highly recommend her. Of course, I had to throw in a little astrology, but once again, do not abandon yourself. As Jarrod and I were saying at the end and even the beginning, things are going to get hard, but you need to find those outlets that are going to bring you back to yourself in some sort of capacity. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of Just Our Luck Podcast. And you will be hearing from me again next week. Be productive, be blessed, and live your best. I did not mean to rhyme, I promise. Bye, guys.